So hey guys, welcome back to the new video tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to build this weather application by using React.js. With the help of API, we are fetching the weather details of the city which is being searched by the user. As you can see, by default, I have typed Delhi and we are getting the data of this particular city. So here, as you can see, we are getting the temperature details of this particular city. Suppose if I'm changing that, if I change or change the city name, so if I press this button get, so I will get the data of this particular city. So as you can see, the icon of this icon is also changed and temperature is also changed for this particular city. So we will be building this the whole application by using React.js, and you will learn a lot how to fetch the data from the API, how we can use interactive icons for a particular according to the temperature, and lots of things we are using in this application. So let's start this application. So let's set up our React project. So I have created a weather app folder on the desktop, and let's open this folder, and in this folder you have to type cmd. Okay, and it's a type cmd. So this terminal will comes up in front of you. So what you can do right now, you have to write write a command which is npx create hyphen react hyphen app and the name of your application. So right now I have already in the folder. So I'm putting dot slash. Okay. So if I put this dot slash, all the files and folder will automatically creating. As you can see, package.json file will automatically installing here. All the packages will installing in this folder weather app. Okay. So this will take some time. So meanwhile, I'm stopping the recording. So as you can see, all the folders and the files are successfully created in the weather app folder. So the next step is you have to jump to the folder, which is we have already in the weather application. So we don't have to change the directory. So right now, what we can do, we have to open the whole folders and file in the VS Code. So how can we do that? We have to write the command which is called code space dot. Okay, and this will open all your folder in this VS Code. Okay, now as you can see, we have a node folder, public folder, this src folder. We ignore all the files in the folder we have right now. Okay, now let's follow the next command. Is telling we have to, for starting the application, we have to follow this command. Okay, and if you start, let's start our application and then start. Okay, so this will take some time. Okay, for starting your application. So right now, as you can see, if we type npm start, server will automatically started our application, and this is the default React application. We have to change it. So how we can change? Look at this line number 7. We have to remove each and everything from here, and let's type only h1. Okay, let's test. Okay, now if we go to this, as you can see, test is submit. So let's start building our application. So let's start building our UI first, and then we will start our integration part. Okay, so till this point we have created. So this test we have created already. So now we have this div, we have this div app. Under this div, we have to create another div, which is our container. Okay, for UI part, we are not focusing on the CSS part because React is all about the integration part or the logic we have to build. Okay, for building this application. So I have write all the CSS for this application. So let's copy paste all the CSS for this application. So you have to go to the Google and you have to type Geon tutorial on. If you type Geon tutorial, you will get this link or this logo. You have to click on it, and then if in future if you are watching this video, if you don't find this article right now, you have to search it out. Like here, a weather application, you will get this article, and you have to click on it and just scroll it down. You will get all the source code which is related with this application. Okay, if you are stucking or if you don't get the output by watching this video, you will compare all the code which I have written on the video. Okay, so let's copy the CSS file. Okay, so you have to copy each and everything from here. Okay, let's copy scroll it down a little bit and let's copy one by one. Okay, so let's copy dot form also from here and let's jump into our code. And you have to go to index.css. You have to remove each and everything which is presented here. And now we have to paste it. Now let's format our code, format our document. Now, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, it's perfect now. So we have imported our, we are using inter font. Okay, so I have already pasted the link here. You can copy it from the source code. Okay, now let's jump into the UI part. Okay, so let's see, we have to remove this test because now we are working on the UI part. So next step, we have to write a div and the class name of that div is container. Okay, and let's wrap it like this. Okay, and then you have to, okay, now let's see. If you go to output, if you see, as you can see, this output will come because we have already copy paste all the CSS which is related to our application. Okay, now let's move it to the next step. We have to, if you see, if I jump to the output, let's see, we have next step, we have created this container. Okay, and next step, we have to write this May 032024. Okay, then we have to jump into the city, a name, then icon, and then this 20 degree and the mostly sunny, this part. Okay, let's see what we have to do is to do for this line May 032024, we have to write h1 tag. Okay, and then we have to put a class name. Okay, and let's close it. And what we can do, we have to provide a class name. Okay, which is container underscore date. Okay, because as you can see, if you go to the index.js index.css file, we have write a dot container underscore date CSS here. Okay, so right now as you can see, if you write me, okay, like May 0, like today, what is the date? 11/05/2024. So right now I'm putting like suppose 0, for example, May 2024. Okay, if I save it, as you can see, the output, look, it is same as the output which we have, which we see here. Yeah. So till this this current date we have completed. Now we have to complete this city name, this image, the this 3D image we have to make, and this degree Celsius temperature, and this message. We have to complete this area. Okay. Let's jump into the VS Code and let's make this UI. So first we have to make a div and then let's provide a class name. Okay, we will provide this class name so we can call it weather data. Okay, so let's call it weather data. Okay, and in this weather data, we are covering first that city need. So for that, you have to provide h2 and their class name would be country. Okay, container city we can call it. Okay, container underscore city. Okay, now we have to close the stack. Okay, and let's see what then is here. Okay, okay. As you can see, if you put the output, as you can see, the current date and the city name is completed. Till this point, as you can see, if you compare with this UI, it is almost same. Okay. Now let's move into the next area where we have this image. These two text we have for first one for h1, we can use h2 tag for these two text. Okay, let's jump into the code editor. Now let's write img tag, then put class name, then we can type container, okay, underscore img. Okay, now let's type src and then we can put thunder. Okay, dot png. As you can see, I'm using these images like thunder, sun. Okay, I have bunch of images. I will provide the link for these images in the description box. You can go ahead, you can check it out. Okay, now let's provide a particular width for this image. So right now I'm providing the width about the 180 pixel. Okay, And also, if you want, you can provide the alt tag. Right now I'm using Thunder, so I will put the Thunder image here. Let's close it. Now let's check the output. Okay, if I refresh, okay, as you can see, we have the current date, city name, and this beautiful image we have. Okay, now let's move to the next text. So for that, we can use h2 tag. Okay, h2 tag, and then let's put class name. We can put like container underscore degree. Okay, or you can copy paste directly. You can copy from here. Like we have this class name we are using. Copy from CSS, and then I'm putting here. Okay, now let's close this tab and let's put 34.22. Okay, now next we have to show the message. So for that we can use again h2 tag, and let's use container para for that. Okay, so here I have right. Okay, I put it here country by mistake. Okay, so for now I'm putting this class name. Okay, so you can change it as per your understanding. Okay, now I'm putting like sunny weather. Okay, so as you can see, we have this much of area. Okay, let's format it, and now let's check. Okay, as you can see, we have this current date, city, image. Okay, and this degree Celsius data, temperature data basically we have, and this message. Now the next thing we have to make is this form area where we can search a particular city. So for that, what we can do is basically we can make a form first. Okay, because we have to submit some data. So for let's provide a class name. I'm putting form here in the class name, and right now I'm closing the form, and let's type input. Let's make an input, and let's put a type here, which is text, and then put a class name here. Okay, you can type it as, you can use it as input. Okay, and just put a placeholder, enter city. Okay, now let's close it. Okay. Okay, for button, we can use button. Okay, let's type it as submit. Okay, and let's close it. And I'm putting this get message. Okay, as you can see, we have successfully done the UI part. The next part we have to make is to integrate the API. We will fetch the data from the API, and then we will bind all the data. So before integration, we have to bind this current date. Okay, so how can we bind the current date? Basically, let's jump into the UI. Okay, let's jump into the integration part. Okay, so for first step, we have to get the current date. Okay, for current date, we have to define a constant. Okay, and current date. Okay, so, and as you can see, we know that we have a function called date function through which we can get the current date. Okay, now we have to define the months. Okay, because we have to in the UI, as you can see, you have to achieve this kind of format. Okay, May 03 and 2024. So for May, we have to make array of months. Okay, as you can see, like this, you have to define a month array so that we can make this kind of format. So right now we have a date, current date. Okay, and we have a current, we have a variable for months, and now we have to define constant. For month, we have to define another variable const month, and as you can see, we have this month. We have to paste it here, and we know that we have array of months. In the array of months, we can combine the current date. Okay, current date dot there is a function called get month. So we'll bind this, we call this function. Okay, so we'll get the current month. Okay, now next step, as you can see, we get the month name, and we have to for day, we have to bind the day. How can we bind? Basically, we have to define for day. We have to again we have to define a variable, okay, day. Then you have to define a current date dot, and you have to call this function get date. Okay, so I hope till this point you have cleared now. Now we have to, at the last, we have to bind this year value. So how can we do that? Basically, we have to define a variable again with the year name. Okay, and you have to call this current date dot get full year. Okay, you have to call this. Now we have three values: month, day, and year. Again, we have to combine all these three variables. How can we combine? So let's make a variable with the name of formatted data or date, as you can see. Okay, so we can make it as date equal to, and let's combine in. You have to again define this template literals, and in template literals you have to define a dollar, and then you have to bind this month value. Okay, you have to paste it here. Okay, so this value we have bind May. Now next one is 03. For 03 is a day basically. So current day is in this month we have to bind again a dollar. We have to define, and this day value we have to bind it here. Okay, now we have, as you can see, we have a comma here. So we have to put a comma per day, and then we have to bind the year value. So again, you have to copy, and this, then here you have to define dollar, and in this dollar area, you have to define this year. Okay, now we have this formatted date. So you have to copy this constant and scroll it down. As you can see, we have May 03, and this is the static value. Okay, so we have to paste it here, and as you know that we have to define in the curly braces, because here we can write the JSX values. So till now we have completed, we have bind the formatted current value, current date. Okay, so here we have bind the current date. Okay, let's remove it. Okay, now let's see the output. Okay, let's refresh it. As you can see, we have a current date. So you can put a space here also. Let's see. Now we have a space. Okay, so May 18, 2024. So let's match with our current system 18/05/2024. So it's perfect now. Okay, so now let's move into the next area where we have to fetch the data from the API, like this current city. Okay, and this temperature, and this message, which is sunny, cold, rainy. Okay, so these data we have to fetch from the API. Yeah, okay. So before starting integration, first we have to get the URL of that particular, for suppose if you are searching city name, so here for particular city name, we have to get the API so that we can fetch the data. So for that, right now we are using third-party API, okay, which gives us the current weather data. Okay, so as you can see, you have to write this open weather map. Okay, and you have to click on this link, and on this website you have to sign in, because this website will give you so many data for a particular city name. So right now, as you can see, there is at the top we have a menu bar. Okay, guide, API, dashboard, marketplace. So we have to click on API. Okay, and as you can see, there are so many APIs available. So right now we are using this current weather data API to fetching the current city name, and that particular city name weather data we are fetching from this API. So we have to click on this API doc. Okay, as you can see, there are so many things available. If you want on the basis of lat long, so you can also integrate this URL. But right now we are searching through city name, so we have to scroll it down. Okay, as you can see, if you scroll it down, there are so many URLs are coming, but we have to use this. If you go to built-in API request by city name, okay, you have to search this line, and as you can see, you can get the data by putting the city name in your search bar, and this is the API key you have to put here. Okay, so for API key, what you have to do is basically, because this city name we are putting in the input box, and we are binding whatever the input we are providing. But for this API key, you have to sign. So I have already signed into this Open Weather Map API. So I'm going to this website again. Okay, and as you can see, I have to go to this my API keys. Okay, and as you can see here, there are I have generated two API keys. So meanwhile, you can use any API key. Okay, so till this point, I hope you have cleared. Now let's jump into the coding part. Okay, so let's open the app.js, and for setting up, okay, let's suppose first we have to create a state for city, because we are binding the city, okay, with the input box. So for that, let's create a state for city, and right now I'm writing like that: city comma set city. Okay, and you can use state. Okay, and right now, because by default I'm using Delhi, so I'm putting here Delhi. Okay, you can use any value for current city. Like if you are in Mumbai, then for default, by default, this city name you can put it Mumbai. Okay, so for weather also, we have to bind the data of particular weather also. So I'm making a weather state also. So I'm writing a weather data, okay, comma, set weather, okay, and let's make it as a null set state, and let's define as a null value. Okay. Okay, so right now we have two states. First one is for city, okay, and second one is for weather data. Okay, right, as you can see, if we go to the, I mean, the UI, so this is the city name. Okay, that's why we have created this state for that. Okay, and this weather data like temperature or this message. Okay, so for that we have created this weather data. Okay, so I hope till this point you have cleared. Okay, so now we have to write a fetch function so that we can fetch the data from the API. Okay, so first of all, I'm putting my API key as a constant. Okay, so that we can use that API key in the URL. Okay, so right now, as you can see, I have defined this API key variable, and I'm putting my API key basically here. Okay, now very simple thing, you have to write a function to fetch the data from the API. So I'm writing a function const, okay, fetch weather data, okay, fetch weather data equal to, you have to await, okay, async, you have to write async, and then you have to write that because right now we are dealing with the this arrow function. Okay, so till this point, you have to make this kind of function. Right now I'm using this function fetch weather data equal to sync, and I have write this arrow function. So in this, I'm trying to say like I'm putting try catch, okay, for handling the errors. Whatever the error is coming from the API, we are catching here. So I'm writing it in a console. Okay, we are putting a console.log, we putting error here. Okay, so next thing, let's write here. Right now I'm using a fetch method. Okay, so const, okay, whatever the response is coming from the API, I'm putting in a response variable. So response equal to await, okay, fetch, and let's put it here, and let's write this. Okay, this tilde sign you have to write. Okay, so as you can see, we have a try catch method, and we are here we have to paste our URL. Okay, so you have to go to this weather map again, and you have to copy this URL because as you can see, we have a city name here and this app ID. Okay, so again, we are using this API URL. So how can we do that? Basically, we have to write it like that. So as you can see, we have a constant response, we have a wait because we are using a sync method, and here we are using fetch method for fetching the data from this API. And as you can see, we have a city name and this API key, whatever the API key right now we are using, we have bind it here. So I hope till this point you have cleared now. Now we have to make sure you have to make another variable like const data equal to await. Okay, await. Then you have to response dot JSON, and you have to call this method. Okay, and now you have to console the data dot log. Okay, and here you have to console the data if you want to see the data, whatever the data is coming from the API. And at last, you have to set, you have to use this, whatever the state we have made here, like set weather data. Let's set the data, whatever the data is coming from the API. So I'm setting the data here. Okay. I hope till this point you have cleared all the points. Okay. Whatever the data is coming from the API, we are setting it to the set weather data. Now let's call this method, okay, by use effect, in use effect basically, because during first reload, we have to call this API. So let's write a syntax for use effect. Okay, anonymous function we have to write. And in this anonymous function, we have to pass this dependency array. And now let's call this function over here. Okay, yeah. I think now it's good. Okay, we have called the function in use effect. Now, next step is we have to grab that input. Suppose if we go down here, we have an input. So whatever the city name is, provided by the user, we have to grab that city name. And on the basis of that city name, we have to return these values. Okay. So for that, we have to write a function. So how next step, we have to, we have to write a function. How can we do that? We have to write a own change method here. And in own change, we can write, we can write like, how can we write? Let's see, I'm writing a function called handle input change. Okay, let's see. So this is the function name. Okay, and let's define it here. Const handle change, handle input change, and let's see, put this value, okay, over there. Okay, now I think it's perfect. And we have write this function, okay, whatever the function we have we are writing it in the own chain method. So now we have to pass event in the parameter. Okay, and you can console this event also, like you can grab the value, okay, whatever the value you are writing in the input, you can console it basically. So let's see, console dot log. Okay, and let's write, how can we extract the data? So let's write event dot target dot value. You can put it here and you can grab that value. So let's see how can we grab. It is working fine or not. Let's see. So right now I'm clearing the data. As you can see, if I'm typing, so as you can see, you can get the data in the console. So this data we are getting in the console. So we have to set that value in the city name. Okay. So as you can see, we have already made this, this city data. Okay. So we are setting the city's value. So how can we do that? Basically, we have to copy the state from here, set city. Okay. And we have to paste it here. Okay. And then let's put event dot target dot value. Okay. Now, till this point, we have grabbed that particular input data in our event handler. Okay. So next step, we have to submit this data and get the particular data. So for that, we have to write we can write that handle submit, we can write. Okay. So for that, we have on submit, this function we have on submit handler. Okay. So let's write handle submit. Okay. And let's create this function. At the top, we can create this function. Okay, let's write, we have to write this const and then submit, and let's call it. Okay, this arrow function we have to write, and here we have to write event. And now for form submission, okay, so we have to write this event dot prevent default function we have to write. Okay, we have to call, because if you click on go, okay, there is a button. I mean, we have a button like get data. So if you click on that, so the whole page will refresh. Okay, for by preventing to that particular scenario, we have to write this event dot prevent default. Okay, so now we have to call this fetch weather data, and we have to call this method. Okay, so I hope till this point you have cleared now. So we have write this handle submit, okay. And what is the use case of this handle submit? First, we have to understand, then we will move into the next step. Okay. So as you can see, we have called, if we click on this button get, okay. So the type of this button is submit. So whenever we click on this button, this handle submit will call. Okay. Every time handle submit will call, because so as you can see, let's go to the UI. Okay. Suppose I'm writing Mumbai. Okay, and if I click on this get button, as you can see right now, we have fetch all the data, okay, which is related to this particular city name. So we have this city name also we are getting, or other data also we are getting. Like, there are so many data we are getting from this particular city. Okay, so this, as you can see, we have temperature, max temperature, any data you can show on the UI. So right now these are the static value, but now we have to bind in these value instead of this particular city name. Okay, so right now first we have to bind this value, because this is not, right now we have searched Mumbai, but now as you can see here, only Delhi is Delhi is coming. So we have to change the static value. How can we change? So for that, we know that right now we have this container. Okay, so this container, under this container, okay, we have to write its code. Okay, first we have to check if weather data is coming or not. So for that, we have to write this weather data. If weather data is coming, then we have to execute this line. Okay, so you have to write this line, okay, and all the things, okay, whatever the things is presented here, okay, you have to copy all the things, and here you have to write in the fragments, you have to write. Okay, let's see how can we write basically. So let's copy paste it here. Okay, now let's format all the code. Okay, now it's perfect, I think. So let's check first. Okay, so if weather data is coming, then we have to execute all the data. So how can we, like Mumbai data, we have two line up. Suppose, let's see, I'm writing Mumbai, and let's type enter. And here I'm getting, and let's see, we have this name value, we have to copy. And here we have to bind instead of Delhi. Let's see, how can we bind weather? Okay, weather data we have to write now. Weather data, weather data, and all the things. Okay, JavaScript related stuff we have to write in a this JSX dot and name. Okay, name, let's write like that, because I hope it's correct. Okay, so initially we have Delhi. Let's see, write Mumbai. If I enter, now as you can see, it's working fine. So we have a current date, and we have now we have find the value of this particular city, whatever the city name we are putting, now we are getting. So next step, we have to find this value. This is the temperature basically. So as you can see, if you go to the May, you have this temperature. Okay, so you can bind it over here. So this temperature, you can bind any value from here. Okay, now let's bind these values also. So how can we bind? Again, we have to bind this weather main temperature, okay, because that is present in the main. So let's remove this temperature value first, okay, and in the weather data dot main dot temperature, because as you can see, if I'm typing again weather, so here as you can see right now, okay, we have a main, and in the main we have this temperature, okay, this temperature we are I'm binding here, okay. Let's see whether it is working or not. Suppose, so right now I'm refreshing the whole page and I am putting, okay. So right now it is showing the temperature. Let's put mobile and let's get the data. And here, as you can see, in the main, we are getting this temperature 31. Let's see, right now we are getting this 31.99, which is correct. Okay, we have successfully bind this value. Now, next step is this message we have to bind, or on the basis of this message, we have to show this image. So it is very simple. How can we bind? As you can see, we have this, I think, this array. Okay, so in this weather array, we have description, okay, which is showing as value. So in this weather, we have to, you can bind the value of this particular message. So how can you bind? You have to write weather data dot weather and this particular this array, zeroth array, and in zeroth array there is a main. So let's see, let's bind the value. Okay, instead of sunny, we have to bind this value. Now let's check. Okay, so as you can see, we have this haze value is coming. Okay, let's type Nagpur. Okay, and let's click on this get data. Okay, as you can see, Nagpur data we have fetched from the API. So we have the current Nagpur data, Nagpur temperature, and the particular message we are getting. Okay, so I hope till this point all the points you have cleared. Now let's focus on this area where we have to just change the image. Suppose right now we have his description. So on the basis of this description or a message, we have to change this image. So on this step, we have to work on. So right now, suppose if I search Mumbai, okay, so this API data will comes up in the console. As you can see, we have so many data available. So right now, as you can see in the weather, okay, in this weather data, you have to open it. And in weather, we have an array, okay. So if you open this array, you have this much of information available. So description, icon, ID, or main. In main, we have already bind this main here. So on this main, suppose if I'm typing London, okay, here, if I, so as you can see, we will get this clouds, okay. So you will get different types of descriptions, messages, okay, in the main. So what we can do on the basis of main, we have to just change the images, okay. How can we do that? For that, we have to write a function, okay. On that function, we have to use switch cases. On the basis of these main messages, we have to change the image. So for that, how can we do that? Basically, let's jump into the UI. Let's jump into the code area, and we have to just change this image first. As you can see, we have this static image available, and I have already uploaded all the necessary image is in the public folder. Like suppose thunder image, as you can see, this tornado image. So all the SS link I will provide you in the description box. Okay, you can easily get all the assets. So right now I'm just removing, as you can see right now. So here is the image area. I'm just removing this area because we have to bind that particular weather data here. Okay, weather URL. So what you have to do is basically you have to write in that way. So I have write this image, okay, tag. In this image tag, as you can see in the SRC, we will get the get weather URL. So this function we have to make, and in the weather data dot weather on 0th index, we are binding this mail. Okay, so let's write this function. How can we write? We have to just copy this weather get weather icon URL. Okay, I'm writing here. So in this function, we have to write all the switch cases. Okay, so I'm writing only 4 or 5 switch cases, as you can see, not switch cases, these cases basically. So suppose if we have a cloud area, we will show this thunder image. Okay, as you can see, this thunder image we have to show. So in the main, we are passing this main. So as you can see, there are different types of main are coming for a particular city. So suppose I have searched this London. Okay, so we are getting this message. Okay, so suppose if I'm typing Mumbai, let's see. Okay, if we scroll it down, let's see in the weather array, what we are getting haze. Okay, so there are so many things we are getting. So on the basis of this main message, we are just returning this type of images. So you can use any images. Okay, so right now, as you can see, if we get clouds, so we are showing this thunder.png image. If we are getting rain, so we are representing this rain with cloud.png. This image we can show. Okay. Uh, so I hope till this point we have clear all the things. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to our channel, because we have already made so many videos for beginners. Okay, so please subscribe and like this video. If you have faced any problem regarding this code, you can you can comment in the comment box, and please visit our website www.siontutorial.com to get all the source code for a particular video. So thank you so much, guys.